Do I drive for Lyft? Occasionally. How about we go into details why that is? What's up, YouTube? This is Elijah coming at you with another video from the UberLifestyle.com. Your one stop for all things rideshare, driver, customer, everything you name it. In this case, we're going to be talking about rideshare. And I get this question a lot: do I drive for Lyft? Now, me personally, I'm approved to drive for Lyft, but I don't really drive for them. I will occasionally, and that occasionally really is like 2 times every month. Now, for those of y'all that do drive for Lyft, or drive for both Uber and Lyft or whatever, now if you're doing something and it's working for you, who am I to say stop doing it? I'm just answering the question. As far as people ask me, do you drive for Lyft? I know some of y'all are wondering about the referral code situation. If you are looking to get a bonus, you can go to this URL and we can both get a bonus. I know some of y'all just want to bam, straight to the point. So there is that point for y'all. But we'll get into why I don't drive for Lyft for the most part. And a lot of this information is in the article, Do I Drive for Lyft? But there's some things that I'm not going to say here that is in the article, so you'll still want to check that out overall. But let's go into the reasons why I don't drive for Lyft, because there's some things with Lyft I really don't like, and it keeps me literally off the platform. And first off, this isn't necessarily their fault, but overall it's just less busy on Lyft. And if I'm waiting for 10 minutes without a ping, that's a problem. It'd be a problem on Uber too, but it's just less busy. And since it's less busy, by definition, you are going to make less. Now, that is going to vary depending on your market. Markets like San Francisco, Lyft has almost as much market share as Uber. But in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, Uber, it's a lot busier than Lyft. So that's part of the reason that it kind of keeps me off the platform. I don't really like downtime between rides. Not huge amounts of downtime. So that's part of the reason I kind of stay off of Lyft. Since it is less busy, there are some strategies on the Uber lifestyle that I recommend. I can't recommend for Lyft because I don't know if they have the same amount of market share Uber does in your market. So those strategies may not work. That's part of the reason. Well, I'm repeating myself at this point. Let's go ahead and move on. Next one, and this is something I really don't like, is automatic back-to-back trips. Now, back-to-back trip is you're on a trip. Before you finish that trip, you automatically get a ping for your next trip. Now, with Uber, the ping comes through and it just comes through on your map and you have the option to accept it. Now, I don't like back-to-back trips in general because it's just a clever way for these companies to disguise getting rid of surge or prime time or whatever you want to call it. Because before, that person would just have to wait till the next Uber becomes available. And that means there's a chance that the next ride, once you drop that passenger off, you get pinged for the next ride, there'll be a surge attached to it. Well, if they can just shoot it to you before, 5 minutes before you finish your current passenger, and guess what? There's not going to be a surge. So I'm not a fan of back-to-back trips already. But on an Uber, you can just say ignore them. You say no thanks. Or you can take them. You have the option. But with Lyft, it's quite different. They add a passenger to your queue. And that means that the moment you finish, you automatically start going to the next person. Now, you can cancel that ride. And as far as I know, if you do cancel, it won't affect your cancellation percentage. I don't like the fact them tacking on people for you to pick up. That seems like employee stuff. And throughout this video, you're going to notice that Lyft has a more employee feel to it, and that's a big turn off for me. I'm an entrepreneur, and independent contracting and business, that's my style. And I see every trip that I take literally as a business choice. The information pops in front of me, where they're at, what is their rating, etc. And if I don't like what I see in front of me, I'm going to decline it. And with Lyft, it doesn't matter. They could have a 3.6 rating. Guess what? They just get assigned to you. You can cancel it, but I'm just saying that I'm not a fan of that principle in the first place. And based on what I've been reading in the comment section, y'all aren't a fan of that either. They really just need to take that out. Not to mention that they don't handle it the way Uber handles it. A few times when I was on a Lyft ride, I got taken out. Well, I was on an Uber ride. I got taken out in the middle of nowhere. So, okay, well, if I want to get back to the city, I'm just going to pop both of them on, because the faster I get out of nowhere back to the city, the better. So I got a Lyft ride that took me about 3 miles away further into nowhere. Which, it is what it is. It's just a chance. But as I'm approaching the spot, they add someone in my queue. I'm just assuming, oh, well, I'm still trying to get back to the city, so even though I don't like it, whatever, they're probably going to take me back to the city. I drop the guy off, and then I move on to my next customer. And they are in the city, about 6.9 miles away. Like, what? Like with Uber, there's a limit. The person's not going to be 5 minutes farther than you. But I got auto queue for someone that is back in the city about 7 miles away. Hell no, that's a problem. And why is it even set up like that? That's just contributing to the reason that I don't like the Lyft platform. But y'all get where I'm going with that. Let's just go ahead and move on. This next one, and I've heard rumors this is in the midst of getting fixed, and that'd be great. But they have an unfavorable algorithm. Algorithm is the thing that uses, it matches drivers to passengers, okay? And Uber uses a combination of your acceptance rate and how close you are. So pretty much whoever's closest is gonna get that passenger, unless they have an acceptance rate of like 25% or something. But with Lyft, they use a combination of how close you are and how long you've been online. So think of a circle with an expanding circumference the longer you've been online. Each minute you've been online, that circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point to where, let's say, me and a friend, I'll say, throw someone out there, Toby, are right next to each other. Now the passenger is closer to Toby when they request the ping, but I've been online 5 minutes longer than Toby. So I'm going to get that ping even though Toby's closer. I'm not the biggest fan of that, especially if you've been online for longer than 10 minutes. This is where you get a passenger that's 10 to 15 minutes away. Like, it's not practical for me to get that. I'm just going to have to decline. Now, as far as I know, Lyft's acceptance rate, like if you decline too many trips, they may be talking about deactivating you, but when stuff like that happens, you see the conflict of interest. Like, seriously, what the heck? Plus, I don't like the fact that someone who's been online longer than me can beat me to a request. I'm competitive. I've realized that other Uber or Lyft drivers in this case, they are my competition. And I take pride in being able to outsmart them and get what I want. And with Lyft, that's not so much the case. And someone can get it just because they've been online longer than you. And that's contributing to that employee theme that I don't like. There's a reason I'm self-employed, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't like job scenarios. And that's one of the things that I definitely don't favor. And customers don't favor it either. They request a Lyft, and there's one like right next to them. They're thinking, oh, they'll be here in like 2 or 3 minutes. Then they get this cat that's 10 minutes away. They're like, what the hell? Then they cancel because they need that person that's right next to them, which is a flustering experience for us. You get one, you get a ping, you accept it, they cancel. That happens more times than it should on Lyft. And it goes back to that algorithm. Hopefully they fix that in the future, but that's the reason I'll get annoyed with the platform and I'll just turn it off. Next reason is Lyft's destination filter is not as widespread as Uber's. Now, with Uber's, you're going to be given that destination filter, depends on you put the destination filter on, and you can get anything going that general direction. That means someone could be going not exactly there or on the way there, but it's still close, and you're going to still get a ride there. Which means you can still, it's a decent chance if you do it at the right time of day, you're going to get a ride or two to where you're going. With Lyft, unless they're on this specific route which the Lyft algorithm picks for you. So, like literally, you see on the screen the lines, if they're not on that path, they're not going to get selected to be potentially get a ping from you, which limits the amount of people that have a chance to get you, which lessens the chance you're going to get anything at all. Now, when you combine that with the fact that it's less busy on Lyft, it's almost like, why are you even going to use the destination filter at all? I've literally had one time where the destination filter, I got someone and took them where I was heading to. And it was on New Year's Day. So that was one of the very, very, very busy nights. So it fit. But under normal circumstances, like I've tried it, it never works. I don't know why it's set up that way, but it's just not as efficient or useful as Uber's destination filter at this time. Now, sometime in the future, I'll be getting a new car, and it'll be the luxury time type. Now, I'm debating on if I'll use it for Uber Select or not, but regardless, I don't think I'll be using it for any platform on Lyft because of this simple reason. They don't have the platform separate like Uber does. So you see on the screen, like right now I do UberX and Uber Eats. I can separate them whenever I want, or I can do both. With Lyft, you can't separate the platforms for whatever. At some point I think you could, but they took it away. I don't know why. And you don't know which request is coming in until you take it and do it. Then you'll find out it was a Lyft Premier or a Lyft Classic or whatever. That is a no. Especially for y'all driving on like the bigger categories like XL and stuff, which are gas guzzlers. Like some of y'all would probably like to just take like a Lyft Plus ride only, but you won't even know what it is until you actually do it. That just seems like a cheap way to have drivers always available, and that's not my style. And it goes back to that employee theme that I'm talking about, which I don't like. I don't like that, guys. I really don't. Now, originally, Uber was the only one of the two to have phone support, but Lyft has added phone support now. But there's an incident I have with their phone support, which I will not mention here. You're just gonna have to go to Do I Drive for Lyft? But it involved insurance, and it was not favorable. I seriously question if their phone reps even got any kind of training at all. I'm not gonna mention it here. I'm just gonna say that it involves insurance and it involves misinformation. And I'm not even going to get into the deductible because it is a lot higher on Lyft. Just go to the uberlifestyle.com. You can see the details on that. So after all that, y'all probably wondering, why do I occasionally drive for Lyft and do I recommend it? I don't, because see my video, The App Philosophy, but you really should just pick one or two apps and just focus on it. But yeah, I keep it in my back pocket because you should have a backup for at least your main app. And these apps aren't exempt from crashing. Let's say if Uber crashes, well, my cash flow doesn't have to be completely halted. I can hop on Lyft. Besides, there's two sides to every coin, so Lyft does have stuff that I do like. Let's go into that now. One huge thing that I like about Lyft is it has what we call scheduled pickups, meaning that someone needs to go from point A to point B. They put it in the Lyft system and it's dispatched to all drivers in the local area. I don't know like the radius, but within the local area. And the driver can claim that, then they can go at the scheduled time, pick them up, take them where they need to be. Now, Uber has scheduled pickups too, but just for the customer or passenger. So they schedule a pickup, but all it's really doing is scheduling when the ping will get sent out. Not useful for us. But with Lyft, you'll be able to grab that and see where they're going. So it's a great way to snag some airport requests. That's something I really like about Lyft, and Uber should probably take note of that. Lyft's overall email marketing is better when it comes to notifying drivers of events in the area so you can maximize your income. Now, I don't recommend you rely on any of these companies because they miss stuff. It's happened plenty of times in my market. The only reason I knew about them is because, friends told me, or I'm looking on Facebook, or I keep a ear out listening to the radio for events so I know where to head for that money. But As you see on the screen, they do a better job in Uber, and they'll actually let you know how popping the event is in terms of those little money signs you see. So usually those money signs, they go line in line with how big the surge will be. So you can kind of have an expectation on, okay, what's this gonna be like? That's a big plus. So how do I use Lyft to make some extra money? Like I said in the article, it can be used to really add some, put some icing on the cake, so to speak. Because I use an app called Maestro, where let's say for whatever reason it is slow on Uber and I haven't gotten a ping in 5 minutes, whatever. I have it set so that Maestro will click on. It'll click on and click Lyft on, so that at that point I'm willing to take anything, and it'll manage the apps for me so I don't have to do a whole bunch of fidgeting on my phone. That's one way I use Lyft. Another way is the Lyft application or driver app is actually useful within itself. Remember the back-to-back trips that we love so much just because of the surge effect? Seriously, if you have the Lyft app available, you can go back and forth between the Uber app and the Lyft app while you're driving, and the Lyft app will tell you if it's popping or if it's kind of hot in terms of activity and where you're dropping it off at. Because Lyft time, the prime time and surge pretty much go hand in hand. So if it's prime time on Lyft, you can almost guarantee that it's going to be surging on Uber. So you know not to take that back-to-back request because there's money a few minutes away from you. But that's pretty much my summary on how I see Lyft. You asked, should you give it a try? Everyone is different. I mean, if everything I just told you sounds like your cup of tea, go ahead and give it a try. Me personally, I wouldn't. For a simple fact that I don't like hopping on a bunch of these apps, but I gave you all the information so you can make an informed decision. Those are the reasons I don't like it, and those are also the things I find favorable about it. So that does it for this video. If y'all have any questions, feel free to leave them below. If you like this video, a like and a share is appreciated. And be sure to subscribe if you're new. Be sure to go to www.theuberlifestyle.com for more information on, I guess that sounds kind of, for more information on Uber. Because this will be probably like the only video I do on Lyft. And it's requested by y'all. But, like always, if you have any questions, leave them below. It's Elijah. Until the next time. Peace out.